Hello agents, thank you for coming back to the channel and checking out the video. I have here a topic I have been asked about, so I had an opportunity to put this together to go over it. It is an initial, in general coverage of the topic, so if you want deeper details, all you have to do is let me know. And here's the part of the video where I repeatedly thank people. It's not a cheap plug nor a throwaway platitude. I sincerely appreciate everyone who subscribes and supports my channels. Memberships and merch purchases help elevate my channel's growth from a casual conversation here and there to having almost 1,600 subscribers and surpassing 100,000 views. This means the world to me, and I'm not just saying that to hear myself talk. We all know I hate the sound of my own voice. So sincerely, I appreciate that you want to support me and my channel. I'm always on the lookout for feedback, not only for the content, but merch items you may want to buy, to what perks you want to see for being a member. If you're interested in becoming a member, all you got to do is click the join button. In doing so, your name will appear with the other members who have already supported my channel. This wall is one of the many ways I have to show my appreciation for your support. Thank you. Okay, let's do it. So your build looks good on paper. You've got great gear, strong talents, solid stats, and you're still getting shredded in missions. You might be doing everything right, except for one thing: your mods. Today we're going to talk about how bad modding can quietly wreck an otherwise great build and what you could do about it. Now let's be clear, mods aren't just there to add flavor or a small bonus. Mods are build glue, and when used right, they support your core function. The issue? Well, most new players use whatever has the highest number, or they add crit mods to non-crits, or they stack skill haste without thinking about cooldown alignment, or they may ignore mod synergy with talents. Bad mods don't just underperform, they can actively conflict with your setup. Mods feel like bonus slots, minor tweaks, right? Not quite. In the Division 2, mods are precision tools, not just stat fluff. Here's why they matter. Each gear piece may carry 1 to 2 mod slots, which are modifiers, not fillers. They're even more, I would even argue they're more of a multiplier, and I say that in air quotes. Mods can amplify strengths or waste potential if you don't support your build's identity with them. Think of it like this. Putting a skill haste on a DPS build is like putting snow tires on a race car. You're technically improving something, but not in a way that helps you win. So let's walk through some of the most common errors and what tends to go wrong. Crit mods on off-meta weapons. Players add crit chance or damage on weapons with low base crit potential, like LMGs or rifles. If you're not already spec'd into crit chance through your build, that mod isn't going to do much. Armor regen without sustain, dropping an armor regen mod on gear with no armor bonus, or armor regen talents, and no sustain pieces doesn't really help. It just gives a very slow trickle that won't save you. Skill haste without cooldown planning? Well, players stack skill haste mods without considering diminishing returns or natural breakpoints. Some builds would be better off with a repair skill or duration to boost utility, not just speed. Resist mods in the wrong context. For example, a hazard protection and explosive resistance mod can be amazing, but they need context. If you're not on the DZ, conflict, or specific legendary content, they may be doing nothing. So, modding for stats your build doesn't actually use can be detrimental. I'll give you an example. Adding crit chance to a skill build using a Firestarter or the Seeker Mines. The result, you're stacking a stat that never activates. Using armor regen mods on full red glass cannon builds. If your survivability depends on dodging and high burst damage, armor regen won't keep up, and it doesn't belong. Misusing skill mods on the wrong skill types. For example, using a skill haste mod on hives, which rely more on duration or charges. You reduce cooldown, but your skill's actual effect is still weak. Stacking redundant stats. 3 mods of status effect on a build already capped at 100%, you're wasting your rolls. So in building the mods the right way, you got to ask yourself, what is this build trying to do? What are your weak spots? And which talents or effects does this mod enhance or reinforce? Smodding Mart means crit mods go on builds with Vigilance or Glass Cannon or the Coyote's Mask. Skill mods should balance between cooldown and utility. Defense mods should match your actual playstyle, not just the enemy threat. Modding well comes down to alignment and intent. So here's a checklist. What does my build actually do? Is it a skill jammer, a tank, crit focus DPS? Which stats directly support that role? Crit chance or damage for reds, hazard protection armor regen for blues, skill duration or repairs for yellow. Are my mods reinforcing my strengths or trying to patch a weakness? Always build to your strength. Don't rely on mods to cover for a mismatched gear set. Remember, keep labeled loadouts with color-coded mod sets so you're not constantly re-editing pieces. You can share your mods with other builds. It's only removed from one build while you play the game in the other. Want to go back to the other build? Just select it and the mods will reappear where you saved them last. Finding god-rolled mods can be a bitch, so share them in other builds to save space and frustration. Now, the fix is fairly easy. If your build isn't performing as it should, check each mod slot on gear and skills. Am I using weapon mods that align with my gear talents? Are my skill mods pushing cooldowns past a breakpoint or wasting stat space? Are my defensive mods working with my armor regen, bonus armor, or shield synergy? Are any of my mods just numbers that look good but don't serve the build's identity? So you basically ask yourself, does this mod match my goal with this build? If it doesn't, replace it. Even small changes can make a huge difference in cooldown timing or burst output. You'd be surprised how many players have great builds being quietly wrecked by mismatched mods. In the Division 2, builds live and die by the details. Modding might seem like it's the smallest piece, but it could be one of those things holding you back from melting enemies or staying alive in heroic content. Or challenging content, for that matter. So next time you're in the field and something feels off, before you blame the enemy scaling or your gear rolls, check your mods. They're small, but they matter. And a few smart swaps can completely turn your build around. Don't just build, refine. If this helped you rethink your mods, drop a comment with your go-to stat loadouts. Hit the like button, become a subscriber. Membership info is available on the join button. We're on X and Discord. Clans are on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. And until the next one, this is Hannibal, signing off.